Sooner Scoop HD.
I think it's exciting for us to get in a regional and play here at University of Florida. It's going to be a good regional, nice place. Looking for the opportunity to move on and just keep playing baseball. And I think our kids are ready for it. It's what we practice for year in and year out and every day. So it's getting the opportunity to play and move on and what we did at the Big 12 and see if it carries over to this week.
Okay, questions, Josh?
Yeah, Skip, I just had a couple. I was going to ask you, so, we joked about it a little bit yesterday before you guys left, but the weather in Florida, obviously, it's going to be very hot and humid. Just curious, somebody's been around the game a really long time. What kind of an impact can that have on the game? And does that change anything for you? Are you telling guys, make sure you stay hydrated, anything, as far as how it changes the game when you're playing weather like that?
Well, with Tim, our strength coach, and Luke, our trainer, they're going to be on them about staying hydrated, making sure we played at TCU, played our places 135 degrees, played at Texas Tech. It was hot. We made it to the swamp down here. So it's going to be a little, the humidity is going to be a little hot and it's going to be sweaty. But I mean, if you're a ball player, it doesn't matter what kind of weather you play in. You're just going to go out and play ball, and our kids want to play baseball. And that's the good thing about these kids being around them. They've grown each week, and we're just trying to get better this week and continue to grow as a team as we move forward.
Also, just wanted to ask real quick about Peyton. As you mentioned yesterday, he's been kind of battling some strep throat. Just was curious if he was doing better at all today. And then do you have to do anything to try and avoid it spreading around? I know you guys have kind of dealt with some bugs down the home stretch of the season, but.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, we took precautionary 2 days ago when he got diagnosed. So, excuse me, I got a little bug. I'm just kidding. I think the biggest thing for us is just trying to stay healthy as we go through it. I mean, I think he's fine. He was out there taking ground balls, hitting balls, and moving around really good. So it's we always, we got one of the best trainers and the best resources, doctors, and all that stuff. We're at the University of Oklahoma, and we're not, somewhere else. Thank God. I think that these guys really care about these kids, and that's what it's about. At the end of the day, is just building that relationship, and they know that our training staff, our strength cats, our strength staff, our coaching staff is going to take care of them.
Appreciate it, Skip.
Thank you.
Hey, Skip, just talked to obviously Jimmy about this and talked about how hot this team has been recently. You obviously didn't get the call to host a regional. Maybe some thought you did, but he sort of talked about how, whoever you're playing, it's not really mattered when you're this hot. Is that something that you sort of think about, knowing you've been playing so well that you feel confident playing against anyone?
I think the biggest thing, Austin, more so than anything, is we put ourselves in a position to host, and it didn't happen. It's almost like you're sitting on the mound, you throw a pitch, and the umpire, and you think it's a strike, the umpire calls it a ball. You got to move on. You can't sit there and dwell on things that you can't control. And so for us, we're just going to try to control what we can control, is take it one pitch at a time, and we talk about it. It's easy to talk about. It's hard to live at times. So I think the biggest thing we can do is just move on and do what we got to do. That's where the NCAA wanted us, and God's got his plan for us. And so if it's to come to the University of Florida, that's great, man. We're not in control of that. We're in control of our response to whatever happens. If the ball goes one way or the umpires go one way, we got to respond the right way and get to the next pitch.
Florida doesn't seem like too bad of a weekend getaway maybe for postseason baseball, but I guess what's the camaraderie around the team like right now? Obviously, getting to do some of the postseason stuff, like going to dinner as a team, and what's that been like so far?
It's really good. I mean, the kids really have fun with each other. The camaraderie of those guys ragging on each other or picking each other up or fighting amongst themselves or at breakfast or whatever. That's the fun in it. That's really the memories that you really remember, because it's really about relationships. we all want to win the national championship. We all want to win trophies, and that's all a good thing. But it's really about the relationships you had. You know, if you're on a team that went to the World Series, you won a World Series, you have a party 20 years from now or 10 years from now, they're going to look back about all the fun times they had. And, you know, if we're at dinner and the guy's not birthday and all of a sudden they call birthday and everybody gets around him and he gets on the saddle or he gets a cheesecake or whatever it may be, that's the relationships and the fun in it. You don't talk about, hey man, you remember that slider you threw such and such on 2-2? They remember more about the fun that they had, because I've been in that situation, and it's really about the relationships. And I mean, that's what I'm in it for, is about love and relationship.
Last one for me. Jimmy mentioned the national championship being a goal. Obviously, that's the goal for any team. But what do you think the realistic expectation is for this team in making that goal?
Oh, I think it's really realistic. I mean, you know, it's did you think the horse that won the Kentucky Derby that was 80-1 was going to win the Kentucky Derby, Austin? I mean, we got to put our minds. That's what we're in baseball about. That's what we're in life about. We're looking at the ultimate goal, and we fight every day and scratch and claw every day and practice and do all those things to do that, you know. And if we don't believe that, it's never going to come to pass. I mean, you got to believe and that you're going to go to heaven every day. If you're whatever, you got to do the things to do that, and that's the work to do the right things. And I think our guys have practiced hard. They've taken care of each other. We've been healthy, knock on wood, so far, and hopefully that'll continue. And we'll take it one pitch at a time. And if the ball bounces our way tomorrow, that's great. If it doesn't, we'll get up the next day and we'll play as hard as we can. And if that doesn't happen, then we'll get on a plane, come back, and we'll figure out for next year. I mean, that's baseball, and we've got to go out there every day and fight and scratch and claw for every out, for every pitch, for every strike, for every base hit, for every bunt, for every stolen base, whatever it may be.
Appreciate it, Skip. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Austin.
Lewis, raise it.
Lewis?
Lewis, do you have a question? Okay, we'll go to Randy Heights.
Hey, Skip, your bullpen over the last month has really seemed like to find its roles. How big has that been to this team's development through the conference season, and how they performed last week heading to the regional? Because it seems like more guys know what they're doing now.
Well, I think they always kind of knew what they were doing in a row, but sometimes they get out there, they might struggle a little bit. That's called baseball. But I think everybody from the very first day, they knew they were a reliever or starter, except for Trevin at times. I mean, then we made him the closer, to make Godwin the closer, but you never know who's going to make that the most important pitch. And I say that because I can remember in 2014 when I was with the University of Texas and we went to Omaha, we had a kid throw beat A&M. 16 days later, he beat UC Irvine in Omaha. And you never know who's going to make that pitch. You never know. But that's what's awesome about baseball, and it keeps you coming back day in and day out. I think they've got more confident because of our offense has got more confident. I think the offense has a lot to do with it. College baseball in today's world is about offense. I mean, just look. I mean, you look at an SEC game. I think it was 21-10 last week. I mean, it's about offense, and I think our offense has been really good, and I think it's carried over to the pitching. And I've been on the other side. Our pitching's been really good, and it's helped our offense. So you can't really ever define an identity in one form or fashion when you're playing this game, and that's what's really unique about the game itself.
Talk a little bit about Cade's performance on Sunday and what you liked out of that moving forward. It seemed like he, I know I've heard you talk about learning to pitch again. It seemed like it reminded me a little more of what he was pitching like in high school, where he felt at comfort level that maybe he hadn't felt all year long.
Yeah, I mean, the first inning scuffled a little bit, like he's no different he did at Texas Tech, but he gave up some runs there. He only gave up one. And first inning, it was really a good pitch, and you're going to make good pitches against good hitters. They're going to get hits. But I think what he learned more so than anything is to stay within himself. I talked to him the day before we left, and I asked him, I said, "What you learned?" He said, "Coach, I just felt like I just want to go out and throw a bullpen." And when that happens, it's easy for us to talk about, "Hey man, just, I want to just go play good catch with the mitt." But what happens to kids and what happens to men and what happens in pitching, they grit their teeth and they want to try to make the guy swing and miss. And once you do that, and once you try so hard to make that guy swing and miss, you get out of control. No different than a hitter. Guy sees a fastball and he overswings. It's hard for him to get back in rhythm. He's got to go to release, breathe, have a routine, get back to his routine. So, more about him staying in his routines and understanding that the timing of his delivery, the timing of him getting out there day in and day out is going to get better every time he goes out there from here on out. He's special. We knew he was special in the fall of his freshman year. And then, just like baseball, just like everything in life, you're going to have a hiccup. You're going to deal with some adversity. And he dealt with it. And he was really good through that. And our training staff and our strength and development, everybody that surrounded him, our doctor, really got him back on track. And for him to come back, usually takes 2 years to come back from Tommy John to being full recovery. And I think he's at 14, 15 months.
Thanks, Skip.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, let's go to Louis Razor.
Hey, Coach, we've talked about the hot streak that this team's been on, in particular the pitching staff only giving up 1 run to Texas, 3 to Kansas State, and 3 to Texas Tech in the Big 12 tournament. What do you think that's kind of a testament to, and how do you make sure that that carries over into the NCAA tournament?
Their hard work. I think that's the thing. I think it's more of a testament to our offense is they've kind of taken an identity of just keep attacking on the mound, and it's helped. They know that they don't have to be perfect, and they can just go out there and just throw the ball in the mitt. And our defense has been really playing well. Jimmy's been playing well. I think that's a big difference. His leadership of him going to the mound at certain times has been really big, and so I think those things are vital to every team. You're not ever going to be any good unless you're really good up the middle, and that's being Treadaway playing good, Peyton Graham playing good, and Jimmy playing good, and so I think that's a big difference. And Jackson Nicholas has had a good year for a freshman.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Y'all have a great day.
Sooner Scoop HD.